Hello, my name is Jeff Petersen. I'm with Petersen Physical Therapy, and we've been in private practice for 28, 29 years now. And it's long been held that posture can be a reflection of your emotional state. And we've seen this with when people stand up tall, shoulders back, almost like at attention like a soldier. That reflects confidence. Whereas when you see somebody slouching, that can suggest insecurity and even pain. As a matter of fact, Jordan Petersen, a Canadian psychologist, wrote a book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote for Chaos. And his first rule is stand up tall, shoulders back. There's an American psychologist who's worked with Kellogg School of Management and Harvard Business School, Amy Cuddy, and she did some research. It's rather controversial because it was unable to be reproduced in terms of the blood chemistry changes, but the positive feelings were reproduced. And what she demonstrated was that power poses where your chest is expanded, where you're standing up tall or even leaning back with your arms back while you're sitting, can give positive feelings of strength and power. That's why they call them power poses. On a personal level, we see it all the time. My wife and I have animals. We have dogs and horses, and they communicate purely through body language. You can tell when a dog is excited or a horse is excited. Their tails are up, their heads are up, heads are high. If they're not excited or they're feeling a little nervous, you see their heads are down and they're slouching. We also see this professionally. I've worked for 35 years as a therapist, looking at people's posture. If not causing certain problems, poor posture can certainly contribute to problems. Neck pain, headaches, shoulder pain, anything in the elbow or wrist. When we see carpal tunnel patients, the first thing we do is look at the posture of their head, neck, and shoulders to increase the circulation. So we're going to talk today about what optimal posture is, and then I'm going to show you some quick ways to correct posture if you're stuck in a posture that's less than optimal. And that can happen to anybody, sitting at the computer, driving, sewing, any of the hobbies that we have. So let's talk about what optimal posture is. If you see any athlete, the first thing they teach you is the ready position. And the ready position is always chin tucked, chest up, hands at the ready, trying to keep the work close, and also knees bent. So it's a working and ready posture. You see that in the military. First thing they teach recruits as they come off the bus is to stand up tall. So I want to show you the model over here with the poster. So one of the things we want to do, we drop a plumb line from the top of the head right through the ear. So this is what we would call optimal alignment. I want to emphasize, human beings are different. We're all shaped differently. This is what we would call optimal, but everybody's shaped a little bit differently. But if we can encourage the optimal posture, we can minimize the stress on certain tissues, joints, ligaments, and muscles. So if you drop the plumb line through the ear, you notice it goes through the shoulder, goes through the hip, through the knee, and through the ankle, with a balance on the toes and the heel. So we're going to try to encourage that kind of posture. Unfortunately, when we sit at work and whatever we do is in front of us and we don't have that optimal posture. So let's talk about how to correct that. Hello, so we finished talking about what optimal posture looked like on the poster. And now what I want to do is bring Joe in, introduce you to Joe. Joe is one of our technicians here. He's a physical therapist wannabe. And I have no doubt he's going to go on to have a successful career. So he's going to help us demonstrate what optimal posture is, and then we'll move on to some exercise. So the first thing I want to talk about is standing posture. So Joe, let me have you face that door for me, please. So let me have you kind of accentuate the forward head posture. Just kind of stick your chin out a little bit. So typically what you see is when you're working on the computer or driving, you see that forward head, you see the ear has come forward of the shoulders. Now the typical head weighs anywhere from 8 to 15, 16 pounds. Each inch, half inch you go forward is proportionally higher amount of stress to the neck and shoulders. The other thing that happens as you bring those shoulders forward is the main artery that supplies your upper extremity goes right underneath your collarbone. And that can oftentimes be compressed and limit the circulation to your hands, your elbows, and your shoulders. So the first exercise we want to work on for correcting standing posture is the chin tuck. So Joe, let's have you take 2 fingers on your chin, push straight back, and he's elevating the back of his head. And do you notice how that automatically causes him to stand up nice and tall right here? So let's get you a little bit of an angle here. So it really does impact the position of your head, impacts the position of the middle of your back, your thoracic spine, and your lumbar spine. And that's the position they teach every athlete. First thing is chin tuck, shoulders down and relaxed. Okay, so the next posture I want to work on is sitting posture. Joe, let's have you sit here. Again, the main issue, now look how tall Joe is. The main issue with sitting posture is the height of the chair. How tall are you, Joe?
6'2".
So Joe's 6'2". If you notice this chair, and I don't know if Jeremy can get that, but you're looking at his knees are bent a little more than about 90 degrees. Let's bring that foot out just a little bit. So that's about 90 degrees. That's the lowest chair you'd want to sit on, particularly if you're on a computer. But the first thing that happens is you tend to slouch forward here. So again, we want to make sure that he's up nice and tall, shoulders back. If he were working on a computer, we'd want to make sure that he had an armrest that was supporting him here. Ideally, this chair would be a little bit higher. Not so he's elevating his shoulders, but he has gentle support here. And then if he's mousing, you want to make sure he's not reaching with the mouse. Now, one of the tests that we do with people is to demonstrate how hard they work. Joe, you hold that hand right there. Don't let me push down. And when I do that, I can feel the muscles in his neck and shoulder working. Let me come around this way. So you just tell me how that feels in terms of the amount of work you're doing. Feel that? Now, if I have Joe reach, again, just like if his head reaches, same muscles, but we're pulling that shoulder blade off his rib cage. Now when I give him resistance, he's working about 3 or 4 times harder. So keep in mind, that's why we want optimal posture. Okay, so that's sitting posture. Now we're going to show Joe a couple more exercises to help correct and reinforce an optimal posture. Because if you're sitting in a posture and you're tight in the front, your head is forward, you start to get tight in the muscles in the front of your neck, and you're stressing the muscles in the back of your neck. So the first one we already showed you was the chin tuck. Let's have you stand up. I want to show you that. Let's do the Y's. Remember the Y's? So we'll have you face that door for me. Okay. So then the next one, and now these exercises, all of them, chin tuck and every one that I show you here, can be performed for about 10-second holds every hour. That's all you're doing to break up your posture. Okay, so you do about 1 repetition, 10-second holds, breaks up the posture, restores the circulation, and you get back to work. So let's demonstrate the Y's for us, Joe. So he's creating a Y with his shoulders. So I'm going to have him turn this way, all the way right there. So reach up for the ceiling, bring with your fingers, but bring those shoulder blades down and back. The tips of his shoulders are coming down and back. So he's gently squeezing those, and he's feeling a stretch in the front of his shoulder blades. So let's have you turn around this way to demonstrate that one. So as he does the Y's, he's getting a stretch of the pec muscles. He's elevating his rib cage, which is going to allow his diaphragm to move more freely, getting more oxygen while you work. He's going to hold that one for 10 seconds. And then after 10 seconds of that, he's going to commit to the W. So the W is the same thing, and he's keeping that good chin tuck. Again, stretching that chest, elevating his rib cage. He's holding that for a count of 10. And then he's going to move into the L's. And the L's are just down by his side. He's, again, stretching, gently pinching the shoulder blades together. Hold for 10 seconds, and then he's going to kick right into the T's. And the T's are just like a T, so his body and then his arms make the cross T. He's going to hold that for 10 seconds, and then he's going to relax. The last one I want to show you is the upper trap stretch. So Joe's going to take his left hand, he's going to put it on his right shoulder, gently depress his shoulder, gently drop his left ear towards his right shoulder. Going to hold that for 10 seconds, and then he's going to do the other side. On all of these exercises, this exercise in particular, he should feel a gentle stretch, in this case on the left side of his neck. If he feels any pain or compression on the right side, he's not going to move his head so far. Same thing with the Y's, the T's, the Y, the L, and the T. If you have any pain, stop the exercise and by all means contact me via email, Facebook, or give me a call, and all that information will be at the end of the video. Okay, so 10-second holds every hour. Joe gets back to work. He's going to be more productive, feeling great. Thanks, Joe. Well, hope you found this information helpful. At Petersen Physical Therapy, our promise is with unconditional positive regard. We meet our patients where they are and help them move forward. And hopefully this information will help you move forward in terms of improving your posture and feeling better. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, please like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff that you do on the social media sites. It really helps us keep this information coming. Thank you.